Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, and as always, brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Thursday, the 3rd of April.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
G'day there, welcome along to a Thursday. Welcome along, Finn Caddie.
Yo, good morning. Happy Thursday to you, G Lane.
Yeah, Thursday, 3rd of April. We're well and truly into autumn. It's pissing down with rain, it's awful. But we're still playing cricket.
Yeah, autumn came hard, didn't it, yesterday? Yeah. Autumn, we spent three months in boarding school and then came hard yesterday. It's not good up here. I don't know what it's like across the rest of the country.
The atmospheric river's hitting hard. Don't worry about that. I love the atmospheric river. But yesterday we had the second ODI in the Tron, and the Black Caps won. Great batting from Mitch Hay. Who got himself to 99 not out off the last ball.
The innings was something else, wasn't it?
He looked a bit scratchy at the start. I'll give you, he looked very scratchy. And I had the worst hunch of all time, unfortunately, and I passed it on to a lot of people because the pitch in Hamilton does generally take a bit of turn.
Yeah.
And I thought the Pakistanis would have known that and played a couple of spinners because they've got some good tweakers in that team.
I thought the same, by the way. But did they actually bring any in their squad?
No, they did. They've got the leg spinner, and
the top spinner.
Yeah, the left arm leg spinner. He bowled the best by far. But I had a hunch. Looked at the top five, and I was like, Mariu, Kelly, Mitchell, Harry Nips. Mo Abbas was in there. Bracewell. That's our top five, top six. I was like, that's not the strongest. I was like, if they can get a few out early, and then. We were 5 down for like 120, 130.
It was quite a bizarre start to the game yesterday.
We were struggling. And then Mitch Hay came in and Mo Abbas played a role that he didn't play like that first one day, a complete opposite, just was an absolute wall.
He looks handy, by the way. I mean, no shit, but I think he might find himself...
Man too.
Oh, my goodness me, he looks good.
He's got some BDC about him.
He does.
The way he struts around, he knows he's a good-looking rooster. He's got that... little bit of a prison vag going on with the mo and a little bit of hair on the chin.
But this is the closest thing that we've got now to an Aussie all-rounder. We've seen it for the last, best part of a couple of decades now where they'll bring out these number 6 batsmen that can also bowl a bit.
We didn't see him bowl yesterday.
He didn't bowl yesterday, but he bowled 9?
Yes.
Or something like that in the first game. It was quite strange. They really wanted to make sure everyone knew what he looked like and how good he was. But yeah, yesterday's innings, he took it slow. He got out low in the end, didn't he?
Yeah, but... got 293 in the end, which was, in the end, very competitive because Pakistan sucked.
Yeah. What did you think of this new boy, Reece Mariu?
I thought he applied himself pretty well. I don't know. He'd be overly happy with it. Nick Kelly looked pretty good.
Yeah, Nick Kelly looked the better out of the two.
Yeah, he looked better out of the two. He just looked like he was playing away from himself a little bit. Mariu, in terms of, you know what I mean? Like his bat was away from his pad a bit. I don't know. That's how he got out eventually, just a big leading edge.
Good to see some young boys in the squad, though. We love to give a debut in late 20s.
Totes, babes. And,
here in NZ, so it's good to see a 23-year-old having a run around.
Especially in a pointless series against Pakistan.
That's right. He'll play again, won't he? I think Reece especially. I imagine he'll play this dead rubber that's coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I'd say the dead rubber, they'll just ring the changes. But the most interesting one was Will O'Rourke.
Yes.
The working over he gave... Mohammad Rizwan.
Deary me, G Lane.
He hit him in the bicep, which just looks so sore. He hit him in the tummy button, and he hit him in the head. And Rizwan, who is a world-class batsman, was in all sorts. He did not know and did not want to be there when O'Rourke was bowling.
He couldn't deal with that steep bounce because it is a steep bounce.
And he's a little man. And he got such a work. It was good to see.
Cricket might be the worst sport in the world, G Lane, when you are just getting done over by a quick.
Oh, he was...
it took me back to, year 11, year 12 cricket when I just remember the days of when bowlers were starting to get quick for the first time and I just couldn't keep up as a batsman. And that's what it felt like Rizwan was playing yesterday. He was playing some type of cricket that was not what he expected to be playing.
Also, I love the stony face of Will O'Rourke. I mean, I don't know what he's like as a bloke. I've never met him. But if his on-field demeanour translates off-field, I don't think he says much.
Yes.
Or does much. Because he's stony faced. He hit when he hit Rizwan in the hand first, and he dropped the bat immediately. And then he hit him in the bicep. He dropped the bat immediately. Yeah. He kind of walked up, stared at him, still stony face, and you could see him go, "You right?" That was it.
We need to put an end to that. Are you all right, though?
No, but
if you're listening, because the Aussies do, mate, you are doing exactly what you've been trying to do. You've been trying to hurt this guy. You know you're all over him. You've been trying to hit him in the body, hit him in the bicep.
But he
don't even bother asking, are you all right?
But he didn't run in, go, oh, whoa, yeah, man, you okay? He just went,
You
he
right?
like under his breath goes, you all right?
Yeah.
And then turned around and went back to his mark.
Something tells me it takes a lot to get Will O'Rourke excited.
Yeah, I haven't seen him smile much, but that's what I like about him. Anyway, he did the job in terms of working them over. The first three caught in slips. There was some good bowling from Terrell Duffy. It was
Duff man. He looks all right, actually.
Yeah, and they were 8 down. And then something unusual happened because
Controversy ensued.
Harris Ralph, and no one's really talked about it in the media or anything. I haven't really much to talk about it, but mainly because the game was over. But Harris Ralph got hit in the back of the head. He almost got hit in the Phil Hughes, but he had the flaps there, and he caught one in the back of the head. It was a nasty delivery. He took his eye off the ball. And for the 6th time in that match, the giant South African physio for Pakistan,
a real breath of fresh air, by the way.
It's a big unit.
Just
came out.
Swanned on out.
And has to go through the questions every time. And they got hit in the head. So I've never seen so many balls hit helmets in a one-dayer before.
Yeah.
The pitch wasn't nasty. So
no, there was no demons in there, I don't think.
Terrible shots.
It was just steep bounce from Will O'Rourke mainly.
Yeah. Harris Ralph, so he fails his concussion test, goes off. And when I was in commentary, I forgot about the concussion replacement rule that came in a few years ago. That was
in 2019.
That was used immediately by Australia when Smith got hit in the head by Joffrey Archer at Lords and Labuschagne made his debut, and that's how he first started playing. So I forgot about that, and I just presumed they're 8 down, and they're 7 down, but effectively 8 down. And then I saw 2 players padded up. I was like, that's unusual. And then I was like, that's right. He's got a concussion replacement. Now, his concussion replacement, Harris Ralph, or Ralph Harris as we call him, he's a bit of a bunny.
He had absolutely no idea.
Yeah, he's
yesterday,
a bit of a bunny.
Especially, by the way. When he came out last night under grey skies, he looked like shit.
He's a bit of a competitor. He's a competitor. He'll stay in there and grit it out.
Oh, he'll throw the kitchen sink at it, no doubt.
But his replacement was Nazim, who is a bowling all-rounder.
That's
who
right.
averages 25.
Yeah, the best part of 25.
Ralph averaged 7.
Yeah.
And Nazim came out. The game was over, but there was a couple of nervous periods there when he was batting with the other all-rounder. Nazim came out and hit 51 off 37 balls.
That's right.
Harris Ralph would never have done that.
No.
Now, you've done some research.
Yeah, I've gone deep on this.
What is, with a concussion replacement, how does it work? How do they know? Is it like for like?
Yeah, kind of. Well, as it stands, you might be surprised to hear, G Lane, that it's a vibe thing, like a lot of cricket.
It's vibe.
It's a vibe thing. So what will happen is, obviously, the ICC, a new concussion substitution rule, 2019, we saw it happen at Lords. Firstly, the injury must occur on the field and during active play. Goes without saying.
At the pub.
Correct. Or, warm-ups doesn't count.
Get Ricky Ponting, like getting knocked out by a tranny. Transvestite, sorry. Jeez.
Careful. And then the team medic will swan on out like the big South African did yesterday, and he'll go, right, this guy's not looking too good. We'd like to swap him out. They'll then go to the match referee.
Which was Jeff Crow yesterday.
That's right. Yep. And he'll say, and they'll go, hey, we need a substitution.
This guy's doodled.
Yeah, he can't, he doesn't know his left foot from his right foot. We need to swap him out. That point then, the match ref will go, okay, who do you want to replace him with? And then the team will suggest a like-for-like replacement.
Okay.
If then the match referee goes, you know what? I think they're on about a similar level. Again, back to the vibe thing. This is actually how it works, by the way.
Yeah.
He goes, yep, that's all good. That's fine by me. Let's get it through. Now, there's a lot more that goes on. Apparently, I know you're probably going to ask me what happens if the concussion replacement then
gets concussed
because himself.
Nazim got hit in the head.
That's right.
And he got a concussion test.
Shit out of luck at that point.
That's out. You're out.
You're out at that point.
It's only one concussion test.
Correct.
Concussion. Yeah. Okay.
So that's how the concussion tests currently work. But I've also got another theory. And since it is a vibe thing, I've got a theory that Jeff Crow yesterday saw the state of the game.
Yes.
And said, you know what?
Put in whatever you want.
It's not really a like for like, but chuck Bubba in there for all I give a shit. Like, nothing's going to happen here. Having said that, it kind of got maybe almost closer than it should have.
Yes.
The game.
He hit 4 sixes, clean sixes.
That's right.
Harris Ralph was never going to do that.
Yeah.
I wonder also, I don't know if Jeff Crow knew the Pakistan team well enough to make a judgment call.
That's a fair point.
Because surely just look at the averages.
I mean, if I was a match referee, I would have been, okay, sweet, so what does he average? Oh, so he averages 25. He seems quite good. Okay, no, he averages 7. No, that's not a like for like. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to come back with me with the bunny.
Because it's like the equivalent of Dan Vettori coming in for Trent Bolt.
Yep.
So Trent Bolt gets concussed, so bring Vettori in.
Actually, that's exactly what it is like.
Yeah, a good number 8.
To the Muppet that doesn't know, you might be able to get fooled into that situation.
Yeah.
But to understand that Dan Vettori can probably, no offense,
got
3
or 4 test centuries.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway. I didn't think it got much discussion because obviously the game was over.
I think that's why it didn't get discussion, is because no one gave a shit.
Yeah, but it's a strange one that the fact that it's a vibe thing and it's a like for like and it's up to the match referee to just take the, I don't know, surely they look at the stats. Surely they go, okay. I mean, because Nazim's an all-rounder.
Looking at the
Harris
wording
Ralph
here.
is not.
Yeah, well, that's another part of it is he is just a bowler. He just bowls. That's all he does, Harris Ralph.
Yeah.
It's all he's any good at, other than maybe pulling an all-nighter and showing up to work the following day with bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a teacher that used to rock up to our sports exchanges when we used to go over from North Canterbury over to Westport. He used to, Mr. Liddell, he'd go missing after he'd billet us all out, and then he'd rock up to the game the following day, supposed to be umpiring, stinking of piss, looking a little bit like Harris Ralph did, in fact, with bags under the eyes. Not the point, though. A fundamental aspect of the rule is that the substitute must be comparable to the injured player in terms of role and skill set. The role and skill set is to be determined by the match referee, who will assess the likely contribution of the concussed player had they continued on. Total bullshit. Having a look at Harris Ralph's innings yesterday, there is no way he was going to go on and score a 50.
No way. Off 37 balls?
Shit, no.
The way Nazim played, he looked good. But anyway, will we see potentially teams try and use this to their advantage? And I'm looking at Australia here. Do you see a potential? And the thing is, they bat so deep. Like,
I spent hours thinking about this last night.
They bat so deep anyway. Like, you know, their Dreamboat captain bats 9. He's got he looks good.
The cum dog
millionaire.
Yeah.
So I don't think they need to.
I was trying to figure out a situation where you could use this to your advantage.
You have to take a ball to the head on purpose, which is quite hard as well.
That's what it requires.
Yeah.
It requires an intentional injury, because you could always get, the medical staff on your side. You'd be able to fake some kind of, because what are they going out there asking? The same questions that they've always asked. So you can fake that part, but you need to have a reason for the medic to get out there in the first place.
Does it need to be a ball? Could your non-striker come up and just smack you over the head with a cricket bat?
Well, I'm thinking a running between the wickets collision.
Oh, yep.
But then again,
risk.
You run the risk.
You run the risk of I reckon just a clean hit round the head by the opposition, by your non-striker. You go, Finn, come here, mate. Bonk.
Maybe we have to, yeah, exactly. Maybe if we come back to this tomorrow, if you give us 24 hours, we can come up with a situation where could you use this concussion replacement rule in your advantage?
Well, it's the same with rugby. It's like, if you've got the ball, leading with your head into the shoulder of your opposition and then getting them sent off.
Yes.
So the same vibe. Same vibe.
It is a similar vibe.
Say how you do.
Anyway,
that.
let's move on from this.
But for a sport that's got a lot of protection, either helmets and everything else, very worried about. Like, is concussion an issue in cricket?
I mean, this is dangerous territory now because we've had a situation where things went so badly wrong.
Yes, but I mean, that missed his helmet.
That's right.
Corrected that.
I think people are forgetting about that part, which, we're getting into murky waters.
I know, but it's like, I don't think concussions, anyway. There was so many stops for concussion. Anyway.
Well, O'Rourke hit the dome about 6 times,
yes,
did you say?
And so did Sears, so did Duffy. Like, they were all hitting them in the badge. At one stage, I think someone took one directly. I think it was Kerry Akif. Took one right on the Pakistan star.
On the
middle of his head.
Yeah, there's something about that Pakistan helmet, though, that looks like it needs to be hit.
A couple of them went for 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they middled them off their head. So the third dead rubber is this Saturday. It's at Bay Oval. Pissing down rain awful for a couple of days, but it's sunny on Saturday for the last game. We will be bringing in that dead rubber. Myself, Jeremy Wells, Paul Ford, and Matt Heath will round out the summer of cricket, thanks to Max Raft and Razine.
It's a long summer, G Lane.
Wow, it's so truncated, isn't it?
Joe Jerry said to me yesterday, do you remember the England Test series?
In
and I was
November.
like, oh my fucking God.
Oh, it's worse. This next season coming up, we have Australia for 3 T20s in October.
Yeah, it's earlier, yeah.
Then we have England for 3 T20s and 3 one-days in November.
Hang on, the Aussie series is here, isn't it?
Yes.
So
these are all home.
We'll only be able to play one, by the way. The other 2 will get rained out. One of them will be in Dunedin.
Yeah. No, they'll stay. I think they'll be in Tauranga, I think.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere decent.
They
will get rained out.
And then December, we have West Indies for 2 test matches and a few one-dayers.
Who look like shit at the moment, by the way.
This is the big kicker. No home cricket from January onwards. So, again, we're going to... clear run for Super Rugby.
Yeah, but
and
come
the Warriors.
on.
I know it's might have to get into our Super Smash. Big news though. Big news. After 10 years, I'm returning to the New Zealand Cricket Awards.
Oh, congratulations, G Lane.
And you're coming with me.
Yeah, see,
I need to bring an accomplice, and you are the one who's coming with me. But
I got to be honest, I'm not chuffed about it. I'm chuffed about going to the awards. I'm not chuffed about going arm in arm with you.
Yeah. So the last time I went, obviously, was the infamous night in which I may have smacked Heath Mills in the balls while he was talking to the chairman of New Zealand Cricket.
Yeah, and when you say may of, you mean
I did. Yeah. And it was the same night that actually Dan Vittori confused the cloakroom for a urinal.
That's right. Which is, by the way, amazing that a story of a man, an ex-black cap, a man of great mana, confusing a cloakroom for a urinal is not the story of the night.
No, because I managed to take that off him by absolutely destroying the installation on the way in the photo area. It was, and you know what? I've said it and I'll say it again. I blame Doug Bracewell. Because Doug Bracewell won Bowler of the Year that year for his efforts.
Isn't a great look for you. You're supposed to be a leader. You can't be shifting blame, pointing fingers.
No, I'm definitely shifting blame because they got him on stage for Bowler of the Year.
Yeah.
And Eric Young just, oh my God.
It was another name.
It was 40 minutes of him talking to Dougie Bracewell. And Dougie Bracewell, man of few words. He wasn't giving him anything.
No.
And I think in the space of that interview, I might have drunk a bottle and a half of red wine. I was just trying to get through it.
That's a problem for you.
Just trying to get through it.
So we're going back on Wednesday.
Yes. The Pullman.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah, the Pullman.
Okay, who's going?
Me and you.
Just you and I?
Yeah. So, a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, what's our responsibility there? We'll go film some content, no doubt.
Maybe.
Mingle, mix.
I'm sure whether just to keep a low profile.
The White Ferns there?
Yep. I think, yeah.
Sweet.
I don't think there's many black caps going to be there because a lot of them are buggering off to the PCL,
quite a lot of cricket going on.
IPL, wherever, anywhere but New Zealand.
Do you have a different plan of attack for this evening? Like, are you?
No,
you're not one to reflect and go, you know what, I should change things.
Look, it's different times. Like, I'd like to think the administration at New Zealand Cricket is a bit different now than it was then, but there's still some familiar faces. Heath Mills, for example, will probably keep a wide berth.
Do you know what I'm actually imagining walking through the front doors of the Pullman on Wednesday night? Excited, by the way. Thank you for the invite. But I do feel like there might be a bit of a situation where the crowd parts, heads turn, they see the return of G Lane, and there's just a murmuring that starts to kind of lift.
I hope not. I hope that most people have moved on.
So
I know that certainly Laura McGoldrick hasn't because she witnessed it firsthand, and she's still in shock.
Yeah, but I mean,
she helped put me in the taxi actually.
Yeah, that sounds like something Laura would do. But I mean, she's just as problematic as you, to be fair, at the best of times. So, I mean, yeah, it takes one to know one in that situation. So who else? Heath Mills?
He'll
red
be
flag
there.
over his head.
Yeah, red flag. I mean, look, if hopefully Tim Southey stays away.
Yep.
That could be problematic for me.
Okay. Tim, if you're listening, I'm happy to. You and I'm sure we can get up to.
There's another member of the board of the Cricket Players Association, Stephen Mather.
Okay.
He's going, which is again a small issue for me.
Right, I'll jot that name down.
He's a dangerous individual.
Okay.
He threatened to blow Joe Jury's brains out because Joe Jury drinks trim milk.
Oh,
and
okay.
his belief is anyone who drinks trim milk is a robot.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, he sounds like a good time. Can't wait to have a beer with him. I'm looking forward to that. So that's next Wednesday. We'll come back and do a bit of a
okay. So
break over the Coles podcast Thursday, maybe.
Maybe drop into the DMs or maybe on the talkback and maybe give me some challenges to do.
No,
the New Zealand Cricket Awards.
Don't give them challenges.
What do you want me to do?
I've got a challenge. Behave, mate.
Nah, what do you want me to do? I can do a good speech.
No, you can't, G Lane. This is your problem. I've witnessed so many of your speeches, G Lane, and they're not good.
I reckon there's going to be very few New Zealand cricket players there. Not many of them are going to be there to pick up their Batsman of the Year, Bowler of the Year awards.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there to who the contenders. Probably Mark Chapman would be a contender for the one day. I'd say.
Actually, can we try and figure out a situation where maybe you and I get to go up on stage and receive an award on behalf?
Yeah.
If we get sign off.
Oh, Wags will be there. Oh, no, he might be headed to Durham to start the county season.
Is he still going, is he? He just took a fifer for the Northern Districts in the Plunk and Shield.
Yeah,
he's
finishing his career in county. He's going to Durham. So
why is he stopping?
Mate,
I can ask him on Wednesday.
His body is gone burger.
Given up.
He's absolutely thrashed it. Anyway, let us know. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back because we've really upset quite a few motorsport fans. Not on this podcast as a result of us putting a video out on social, which is always the one that creates the most amount of issues. Okay, so Formula One. Now, obviously, there's Drive to Survive has sent Formula One through the sub-canopy in terms of popularity.
Gangbusters.
And look, I would freely admit I didn't know bugger all about it until I started watching Drive to Survive. And now I was mildly interested. Now Liam Lawson's involved. I'm quite interested.
Yes.
Now,
rightfully so, by the way, because that is a man from our country.
Yes, and I've talked to him, I've interviewed him. He's a good rooster, young man, living his dream. However, I think we put a video out last week, and I think it was Heath and I just shooting the breeze around Christian Horndog and around Liam Lawson and his treatment by Red Bull and what we'd like him to do. Get into that Racing Bulls car, kick ass, and sign for another team.
That's right.
Holy shit, man. Motorsport people don't like you talking about motorsport, do they?
Well, this is what I found out about motorsport people is, first of all, no one talks enough about motorsport until you start talking about motorsport. And then if you get anything wrong about motorsport, we don't want you talking about motorsport, and motorsport is for us in our ears.
They must hate only. Drive to Survive.
I don't understand quite where people want us to sit, G Lane.
Oh, look, I'm going to keep talking about it because I'm not going to admit that I'm an expert at any sport.
No.
But I'm just going to give my opinion.
I mean, we've never done that. I saw that video the other day. You guys were just having what you and Matt Heath pitched was a great kind of, I don't know, revenge-esque story.
Yes.
And that's all that was.
I'm pretty sure that's what's in his mind is like, I'm going to prove these guys wrong and I'm going to fuck off and prove you wrong elsewhere.
And that's what an athlete's mindset probably should be.
But should they get angry? Like, is only Greg Murphy allowed to have an opinion on motorsport? Is that the rule?
It feels like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you and Matt Heath should be careful.
If that's the rule, it's the rule. Murph, we'll just have to get Murph on and just ask him anything to do with motorsport.
I'm going to regret asking this question, but what in the did you read the comments? I didn't. I haven't.
I read it because I saw it come up in the notifications, and it just.
What were they pissed off about?
Nothing funnier than uneducated fuckwits talking about something they don't know about.
Right. So their thing is that they think that that's not plausible.
No, I know. But you're not allowed to be casual fans. So
it's just a casual fan.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be casual fans.
Okay. You've either got your dick in an exhaust, or you don't.
Yeah. And look, and I love the V8 still. I love going to Topol and go to the V8s. It's great. Great people watching. But also, I love the big V8s smacking into each other, the big bangers.
As a cricket fan, which look, I'm not proud of the fact that it is, but it is a relatively minnow sport in this country of ours these days.
Yeah.
You've got to have casual fans in your sport. So motorsport fans, just fucking open up.
Let us in.
Spread those legs.
It's like the hardcore Warriors fans who got upset with all the bandwagoners.
And finally, they're starting to come around because they're realizing the more the merrier.
Yeah. So
same with motorsport. Spread those legs. G Lane's coming in, baby.
Super Rugby would kill for bandwagoners.
Oh,
absolutely kill for bandwagoners. They would make car parks for bandwagons. Just pull up your bandwagon and get on board. But Formula One of the Horndog, Christian Horner, has come out and he's thrown the engineers under the bus and said that.
Oh, this is a shit show.
And he's like, Liam Lawson, he was concerned about Liam's behaviour with the car. The engineers told him that. So that's
he's a Formula One driver. He's a dick. Why are we measuring these people? Like, why are we concerned about the behaviour of these people?
Oh no, behaviour in the car, like with the car, in terms of how he reacts.
I thought it was back to the whole pulling the finger stuff and all that kind of gear about him being a bit of a dick. And
he's saying the engineers are saying it's just how he's working with the car, his behaviour with the car, not his doing the fingers.
Oh, it's a chemistry thing with the car, is it?
So that's why we have put our hunch this week on. I love it on the TAB. You can go driver matchups, and good on the TAB because usually they go within teams. So they've gone for Liam Lawson versus Sonoda at the Grand Prix Japan.
Someone's stirring shit over at the TAB, and I love it.
I'm into it. So we've put the $100 bonus bet on Liam Lawson beating Sonoda at the Japanese Grand Prix, which is gutsy because it's Sonoda's home patch. But Liam Lawson's raced a lot on that circuit when he was over there in Japan. So that's going to be fascinating. That qualifying starts on Friday for that. That is going to be even juicier now. And I'm getting fascinated to see how it goes, how it plays out.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that it's in regards to his behaviour with the car, his sexual chemistry with the car. I was under the impression that he was throwing his toys.
No, the fingers he did to Sergio Perez was one of the greats.
That's one of the greatest moments of the time.
And hopefully he does it to Yuki Tsunoda when he passes him in Japan. Have
we got any insight into what their relationship is like? I mean, we're not going to sit here and speculate because fans will get pissed at us, mate. But
I think in Series 1 of Drive to Survive, or 2, They were both in the Red Bull Academy at Milton Keynes, which is a shithole in the UK.
Oh,
so they were both. So they kind of went through that development program together. Yep. Yuki Tsunoda was a bit ahead of him.
Shared showers?
So, not sure they showered together. I reckon,
Formula One drivers don't give the vibe that they've ever had a shower with another dude.
I don't imagine so, no.
And I don't trust that.
No.
I need to know that
They're all good looking, though.
Why
are they all so good looking?
Well, you know exactly why, because of money.
Yeah. Well, the money doesn't buy beauty.
No, it doesn't. But I think the reason why I say money is because, organisations want hot drivers.
Yeah,
that's sponsorships.
Yeah. They've done well then because there's a bunch of hot dudes. Anyway, that's going to be fascinating this weekend. So that's our hunch. We're getting in behind Lawson. V's up for Lawson, biffing out the Red Bulls out of the fridge. Super Rugby, we're going to do a preview tomorrow on that with Matt Heath. He's coming in to officially announce that he is leaving the Blues and jumping on board with the Highlanders because
fuck off.
The Blues, well, he'll still go to the corporate box.
Yeah.
But Ofa Tuangafasi, the All Black prop, he's out for the season for the Blues. So their injury...
I was reading about that this morning. That's gutting.
Their injury list is huge, the Blues. I think you can put a fork in them. I think they're done. They're up against the Canes on Saturday night. They've had a bye.
I've got it on good authority that at training at the moment they're running a injured team versus healthy team. That's how they're setting up the organisation.
It's pretty much like that.
And the injured team is beating the full fitness team at the moment.
I believe Bodie Barrett's back. That's about the only positive coming out of the Blues. But you've got the Hurricanes coming off a massive BDC coming off their last one. Anyway, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have the team lists. We'll have the odds. I was just trying to run you past before we get into yours, please. Have you watched much of the TGL? Now, the TGL is that golf series with a simulator that's on ESPN.
I've tried to watch some of the TGL.
So as a background...
Since being employed here at the ACC, really, it's the only time I started watching it.
As some background, it's an indoor simulator league that started by... Well, it's got invested by Tiger Woods,
and Rory.
McIlroy, the PGA. Basically, it's PGA trying to compete with LIV in terms of the format, entertainment, short format.
I kind of like that idea, by the way.
Yeah, the idea is great, but you try and watch it. It's quite a challenge to watch because they have a big driving simulator. They've got a specifically built stadium, SoFi Stadium. It's like I think a 5,000 seat stadium, huge screen that they tee off into. Then they spin around and then they putt on a green that has about 400 sensors in it, which changes the green for every hole they play. It's actual grass, it's actual sand, so it's not artificial, but it's just a simulator. And they have teams of I think it's teams of three, is it teams of three that play each other? Anyway, so they've got the results of the first season on ESPN.
The broadcasting results?
Yep,
okay,
and
right.
They've averaged 500,000 viewers on ESPN with a total audience of 19 million viewers. So, and the most popular one was about 1 million viewers. And if you compare that to NFL or any other American sports, it's pretty small.
Yeah,
but
it's not great.
But apparently, ESPN are pretty happy with the outcome because for them, they only paid $10 million to broadcast the season, so it's pretty much nothing. And it was more a marketing play by the TGL to get it out there and get in front of people's eyeballs. What was interesting, though, the average age of the TGL viewer was 51.
Okay.
Which you'd look at and go, that's quite old. However, the average viewer for PGA is 63.
You definitely forget, don't you, how old the average golf viewer is.
Yeah.
Especially in our country, NZ, it feels like a young and up-and-comer sport almost, if anything, right now.
Yeah.
It's a sport for crusties. It always will be. It always has been.
And there's a reason why it is, because on the Huddle Up, which is Joe Pompliano, he dives deep into this one.
Great name.
And he thinks it's got potential because the reason it's that age of 63, because most people who can actually watch 4 days of golf,
you need time,
for 7 hours a day, are retired old people. Yeah. Because in reality, golf is not a great TV product. It takes an age. Like 4 days, rounds take 4 hours. On average, he's worked it out, there are 14 live golf shots per commercial hour.
Oh.
So you only see 14 live shots. The rest of them are made up of ads,
These
replays,
are great numbers, by the way.
Commentary, visuals, leaderboards, etc. So that is not a lot of golf. So that's where the TGL comes in, where basically it is all on. There is golf. They can do 18 holes in like an hour on the TGL. So they're shortening up. Every league seems to be trying to speed their game up for the audience. golf is kind of stuck because they're stuck in this 4 days, 18 holes, 4 hours around. It's a big commitment to watch. So I think he argues, and I kind of agree with him, that it has a future TGO. Obviously not a great start to the year, and people are getting used to it, and there's haters out there. But it's definitely got a future in terms of people who just want to watch a lot of golf.
Yeah, and I hate to do this to you. You've also got to remember that a lot of this type of stuff is not about being made for the viewer anymore. In terms of profit margins, this is quite an effective way to do things as well, because it's like, you take your TV set to one of those situations where you run a sitcom out of the same stage every week, and you've got the same cam ops and the same camera set up and the same simulator and all that kind of thing. I'm having a look here. To broadcast an entire PGA weekend, just an average one, is about here 400% more than broadcasting an event from TGL.
It's the complexity of broadcasting a golf tournament is up there with a cricket game.
Incredible.
I think because they've got to have cameras everywhere. You're delaying footage. Commentators they delay. You can always hear when there's a cheer coming. They're commentating one green, and or someone's teeing off, and you hear this big cheer. Yeah. You have to wait 30 seconds, and I've obviously recorded that. They time delay it, and then the commentators. It's pretty hard out.
It's high level.
It's high level and expensive. But
I think there's a future in this. The only thing that I'd be careful about, not that I have any say in this, and not that anyone would ever want to listen to me about this, but you got to make sure that it stays golf, because you can get to a situation where you end up playing almost a hybrid of a sport in a situation like this. Like, before we know it, already there's a few differences between golf and TGL and something on the PGA Tour. Yeah, in terms of the three and all that kind of thing. I think it's still got to look a little bit like golf. Yeah, for people to want to watch it.
I think it still is, and I think the fact that he's a simulator, and simulators are pretty popular now. Like, there's simulators popping up everywhere. Some people have got them in their homes. Yeah, and it's almost an accepted way of practicing,
of course,
and hanging out with your mates is going to a sim. So I think they've timed it quite well in terms of, but this is next level simulator. If you watch it, it's next level.
I mean, it is. Yeah, and then you've got the lazy boy. How good are the lazy boys, by the way, beside the green with a couple of beers? Yes. I mean, it's living. Yeah. But I think for season number one, is that what they're calling it, the first season? Yes, this is the first season. It's pretty impressive, and I think I'm going to be pretty happy with it, and I think it's going to be around for a lot longer.
They spent a lot of money, holy shit. But how good would it be? Because obviously season one, I don't know when season 2 starts, but that stadium is obviously sitting there. Do they rent it out to stag do's and shit? Because I'd be so into hiring out that stadium.
We should. The ACC Christmas party.
And just hacking
2025.
balls. Oh. Mind you, they'd be like, we would ruin all the grass.
How good would that be?
If they replaced it with turf, like AstroTurf, I'd still go. Not worried about the grass side of it, but to go into that huge arena would be pretty mean.
If you haven't watched it and you are a sports nerd, check out the TGL, because
you'll struggle.
It is fucking interesting though, because like understanding how the way that they're changing the greens and the way that they're setting up the tournament and the way that the audience gets involved, it's great viewing.
Yeah, and the laser they use, like if they get it on the green, they have a laser comes from the roof where you can place the ball on the green.
Exactly. Is that how that works?
Yes, exactly where it lands on the simulator. A laser comes down from the roof.
I mean, come on,
and they spin around on the green. It's pretty mean.
There's something in there, and it's also smart as well, because there is enough of a difference between that and PGA. So people the old crusties and the purists.
It's not for the purists.
On the weekend, can still watch their golf uninterrupted and nothing changes.
It's like T20.
But if you just want something a little bit like T20, it is a bit like T20.
Yeah, so there you go. And I think this weekend is the Arizona Open, I believe. So Foxy has to pretty much win it to qualify for the Masters.
Yes, that's correct.
And he was doing all right last week. He was in the final group on day 4 with Minwoo Lee, who took it out. So hopefully, who knows? Hopefully Foxy can bounce back. He's no pressure. You just got to win it to be in the Masters.
When's his tee time? Tomorrow.
Yes, at 12. That's today actually, or it's today at 12:30. Tomorrow at 12:30.
Okay, right. Well, sweet. We'll keep an eye on that then. And the Masters, what kicks off next weekend, eh?
Yeah, I love the Masters.
Oh, so good. Speaking of that, that's for the purists. That
is, and I think it's on a bucket list as well. Like
Can we get across?
I don't even like watching golf that much, but it just looks like an occasion.
Do Boys Trip go there?
No, it's quite hard to get tickets to Augusta. I think, you know what? We'll do a deep dive on it next week, because they actually sell out an entire marquee of like 10,000 people a kilometre down the road, and they have screens everywhere, and it's like fans just go and watch it on screens, and they have bars there and merch tents and everything.
Oh, wow.
So
that could be something that we look at. Okay.
And so it's pretty mean. Maybe it could be one of our next beer garden tours. because we've just announced our Beer Garden Tour for 2025. We've been to Paris for the Rugby World Cup. We went to Beer Fest and we went to Amsterdam as well. This year, we're going even bigger. We're going Texas big. We are headed to Austin, Texas for the 2025 Export Ultra Beer Garden Tour, 7-day trip to Austin. Just happens to be at the same time as Austin City Limits.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. I see that there's a bit of a date clash in my calendar here.
Yeah, Austin City Limits, one of the biggest music festivals in America. Just so happens at the same time. But so if you want to join us, you and a mate, just text Ultra to 3236. Follow the link and fill out the deets, and you're in the draw. If you want another chance, head into Big Barrel or Liquorland. And they've got details in there. They've got trips to give away as well. So head in there. All the details are there. And you could be joining myself, Manai Stewart, and Jeremy Wells in Texas for the Export Ultra Beer Garden Tour 2025.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio, we've got 4 of the buggers to get through today. First one, yours, please.
Yeah, g'day, whatever you want. Just wondering, it sounds like you're a bit of a motor games guy. I wonder if we could get a weekly update on where the Kiwis are at, just around the world in general. A bit of an update on Scomac, SVG, whenever the V8s are on, the Kiwis racing there, Louis Sharp over in F4, F3. Yeah, fuck North Canterbury.
There you go. First up, Kerry. That's good. Hey, look, I don't mind doing that, a once-week check-in, because we have got, in like IndyCar, NASCAR, we've got obviously got the Giz in NASCAR, we've got Scotty McLaughlin in IndyCar, we've got Scott Dixon in IndyCar. I think, is it Armstrong?
I don't know, mate. You keep naming no. Fucking might as well be a different language to me.
These are, in America, NASCAR and IndyCar, one of the 2 biggest motorsport, and this is America. Imagine how many kids are growing up wanting to race in that, and we've got 3 Kiwis in IndyCar and the Giz in NASCAR. I mean, this is shake and bake, baby. This is Talladega Nights. Like,
I'm happy to wade into the paddling pool of
motor games.
I'm happy to do that, but so long as people are open and honest and understanding of the fact that we are just, for the first time, entering the shallow end.
Yeah. Totally.
Look, we want to end up in the deep end, don't get me wrong.
I don't think I want to end up in the deep end. I'm quite happy just paddling around the shallows.
There's a code brown before we know it. And
and the V8s are coming to Taupo, I think, in a couple of weeks, and that is a good time. I went last year.
Oh.
It's a great time.
I have to get down there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go down just to feel it, to smell it. Maybe I need something like that to just get
good. It was, pissed with rain last year, though. Which made it more exciting. But old Heimgartner is the Kiwi in there. There's about 2 or 3 Kiwis in but they're not as dominant as what they used to be with the Giz and Scotty McLaughlin.
No, I jest. Yeah, no, we do. We do have to come back to more motor games, and I'm happy to study up.
A check-in. Maybe we could do a Thursday motor games check-in.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'd love to segment it. That really plays into my radio history. That.
Yeah, okay. We'll segment it. Well, that's.
I'll whip up an intro.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yours, please.
That's my job for the next week.
But like you said, Finn, I just like the hate we're going to get for even dipping our toes into motor games. I'm willing to take that on the chin.
Okay.
Next one, yours, please.
Yeah, g'day Peni. I don't know if you guys dive too deep into other sports adjacent podcasts, but I've been hearing this incredibly fucking punishing ad for this podcast. Bunch of British blokes. I think it's called the Socially Distant Sports Bar, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But it sounds like if you cunts had never discovered drinking, what a bunch of fucking wounders. Fuck yous, love yous.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What a great message to ring up and rag on another potty. That's good. I like that.
I mean,
it's aggressive.
It's an absolute fucking drive-by is what it is on the Socially Distant Sports Bar. I'm having a look at it here. I mean, hard to disagree with the words said by a contributor there.
Yep. Why all the ads? Are the ads playing on our podcast, are they? So they're wounding our audience.
Having a look at the description here for the Socially
BBC
Distant
or something?
Sports Bar. Look,
is it BBC?
I want to make sure that I've got the right one, but it's not good when they list the talent and then put the word comedians at the top of it. So it's the comedians James Ellis and Mike Bubbins and Steph Durario. See, I don't even know who these mups are.
Well, they'll move on.
They're probably doing some great work. I don't know if they deserve that.
They'll probably listen to this and go, what?
So their ads are in our podcast, though.
Sounds like it. Well,
that's a concern for us.
That poor guy was getting wounded. I will take their money. Anyway, next one, yours, please.
Yeah, good evening, Helmets. Just listen to Monday's potty.
Yes. What happened on Monday? Can't remember.
Never really been a Crusaders hater.
That's good.
You know, I'm from the Waikato.
Yes.
Always been able to admire, greatness when I can see it.
Too right.
But after listening to Mesh and Mania wank each other off over a loss,
Yeah,
okay.
fuck the Crusaders,
Right.
fuck the entire Canterbury region,
Jesus.
and love you, G.
Yeah, so he almost got cut off the Lovey G Lane, but I got it. I got it at the end there.
I mean, there's a lot there, isn't
Chiefs
there?
Mudder. You know what I love? He's left a few yours pleasers. And
Great voice.
And
Great
I imagine
pipes.
what he does is kids are in bed, wife's in bed. He's outside, he's punching a dart out in the balcony, maybe with a beer in hand, maybe a whiskey.
And he goes, you know what? Let me fire up the iHeartradio app.
Absolutely. And you can hear the crickets in the background. He's obviously in Waikato, rural Waikato somewhere,
It did sound lovely, didn't it? Nice and
This
serene.
sounds so serene, and I'm jealous every time because he's obviously having some me time.
Yeah.
And I feel jealous for him. And also I agree with him that
So just to
you
clarify,
two
though.
Cantabs managed to turn a loss into a win on Monday. That's classic Crusaders and classic Canterbury behaviour.
Well, how else are we supposed to
Take it on the
stomach
chin.
that absolute
Shake it on
shellacking
the
from
chin
Moana Pacifica?
and say, look, better team beat us on the night. They were on
Okay.
fire.
Better team beat us on the night.
Yeah, but you didn't do that, did you?
Mate,
No, you didn't do
okay.
that. Okay. Well, we'll knock it on the head then because I'm going to take you out the back and punch your face in, okay? That'll give you a lesson.
I'll see you tomorrow, G
Full
Lane.
Chiefs Munner.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Full Chiefs Munner. We'll see you tomorrow. We've got the ACC Sportsbook with the TAB coming up this afternoon with all the tips. And all of my losses from the weekend, actually, which were significant.
Mainly losses.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.